It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. I went to Aldi recently. Again, I seem to be going to Aldi a lot lately. I think it's because of, well, it's just cheap, isn't it? I bought these a while ago, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I've had these beers for about 2 months, I would say, in my fridge. They were £1.20 a can. It's a lager top, 2.8% ABV, in a Red Bull style can, 330 milliliter, lime green can, and a can of Shandy, again, 2.8% ABV, made by the Foundry, which is a kind of like an Aldi sub-brand type thing. 2.8% ABV, 330 Red Bull style can. The descriptions are on the lager top, a crisp Pilsner topped with craft lemonade, and the Shandy is a crisp pale ale blended with craft lemonade. So we've got a Pilsner and a craft pale ale. So we'll start off then, I think, with the Pilsner. I think we'll start off with the Pilsner. So without further ado, a little bit of smoke on the can opening, beer in the glass. One finger, a white head, good levels of slow moving carbonation. It's a very straw coloured beer. It's going to be a straw coloured beer. It's 2.8% ABV. It's been kind of dialed down a lot with lemonade. So there's a look at it. I can imagine it being ultimately refreshing. So a lager top, for people who, I worked in a pub for years and years and years. When you used to ask for a lager top in a pub, it was generally, I would say, 2/3 beer, 2/3 lager, a third lemonade. Or maybe someone might say, fill the glass right up and just give it an inch or two of lemonade on the top. Some people don't like the bitterness of beer, and if you add a little bit of sweet lemonade, it takes that bitterness away. It balances the beer out a little bit more to being a sweeter beer, a more palatable beer for people who like sweet stuff, really. It's very lemonade-like. But it smells okay. Kind of reminds me of that Estrella Damm lemon we reviewed just the other day. Yeah, it smells okay. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Well, lager top. So first of all, I'm going to try and look for that lager, look for that Pilsner. And to be honest with you, it's quite difficult. It's much, much more lemonade than anything else. A nice lemonade. It's a nice lemonade. It's definitely, they called it a craft lemonade. So what would a craft lemonade be? Cloudy lemonade. I suppose that would be craft lemonade. Certainly not cloudy though, is it? Kind of reminds me of the, well, essentially, Aldi being a German company, Radlers are massive in Germany. It's a big thing. When you don't want to have a full-on beer, full-on high ABV beer in Germany, then the Radler would be the way to go. If you want something ultimately refreshing with a little bit of alcohol in there, then the Radler's the way to go. And I think what they've done here is that they've been kind of clever with it. This is essentially a German Pilsner with some lemonade in, so a German Radler. But on a summer's day, very refreshing, very drinkable. Early on in the day, if you've got a barbecue started at maybe lunchtime, 12 o'clock, then it'd be a no-brainer to have a few of these. Because if I start a barbecue at 12 o'clock in the day, they generally go on into like, you end up having a 12-hour session. And if you start drinking 5-6% beers at 12 o'clock midday, you're not going to make that 12-hour session, are you? So these type of beers work, especially on a hot day when you've got the barbecue going, something really crisp, something really refreshing. So I quite like that lager top is quite nice. I'm wondering how much of a difference this is now, this pale ale, whether we're going to get some hops from the pale ale, because we didn't really get many hops, much bitterness from the Pilsner. So let's have a look at the difference then. Oh, there is definitely a difference in colour. The pale ale's definitely a slight bit darker, which is, well, it's nice to be able to see that actually. Pilsner, the pale ale's a little bit darker. There's a widget in the bottom of the glass as well, which is creating that carbonation. We got a 1 finger white head. Again, it's not really hazy at all. Light golden in colour, aroma. Oh, there's a big difference. Big difference. You know them cans of pale ale you can buy in Aldi? They're like £1.20 for a 330ml. The Hop Foundry pale ales is definitely get the base beer of that. That kind of slightly musty pale ale aroma from the Hop Foundry pale ales, yeah, or the Hop Foundry IPAs, but definitely with some lemonade in there. I'm gonna dive in. Cheers. That's taken away all of the rough edges of the Aldi Hop Foundry Pale Ales and IPAs. If you've had some of them beers, I'm not the greatest of fans of them. I'm not a really big fan at all of their Pale Ales or their IPAs. I think they're too rough around the edges. That's for a separate review. What I'm saying here is the lemonade has really helped to take away a lot of the rough edges. Nicely carbonated. I prefer the lager top. I much prefer the lager top. It's refreshing, of course, it's 2.8% ABV. But behind this lemonade shandy lurks that not great Aldi Hop Foundry beer. You can definitely taste it in there. It's minimal. It's absolutely minimal, but it's lurking there. It's lurking. So I'm gonna start off with what I have in my hand. I'm gonna start off by rating the shandy. For £1.20, very lemonade-like, very refreshing, a good beer to start the day with. That's alright for a 7 out of 10. It's alright for a 7 out of 10, that. The lager top, I thought that was really good. I thought that was a really good, if you want to try a German Radler in the UK, out of season because it's winter, and they only tend to sell the German Radlers in Aldi in the summertime, then find this lager top. I like it enough to give. I like that enough to give that a 9 out of 10. Actually, it's really there's nothing wrong with that at all as a craft lemonade lager type beer. Hope you liked the video. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.